Okay, this is day 7 of our one question per day series, and here we'll be looking at settlement, an aspect called settlement for paper 4, which is alternative to coursework. Now, here the first question is: there's a student who lived in a settlement near the edge of a large city. So, one major thing you should look at here is near the edge of a large city. In the UK, we are studying how their town had grown from a small village. Now, which one of the following describe the areas where the town has grown? So you should tick one box. Usually, since it's near the edge of a large city, the small village, so that is usually referred to as the rural urban fringe. Now, the next question here is they say we should look at figure 2.1 insert, which is a map of the settlement. So this is figure 2.1 insert here. This is the map of the settlement. So we are asked to describe the shape of the original settlement. So you look at your key, it will tell you which symbol on the map represent the various forms of settlement. So here we have the original village, this one's with stars. So you can find them here around the road, so that will indicate a linear settlement around the low road. So they have linear settlement. If you also look at it, because it's 2 mark, you can't just write linear and get 2 marks. So usually I tell students, try to write what you can see. It's very important in this paper 4. So if you look at this forms a Y shape here. So you can say a Y shape settlement. And if you look at this can form a letter P here. So it can also be Y shape, P shape. Settlement is linear. Around this part here can be is nucleated. Around the roads, so that's it. First, you see, is linear. Some part is nucleated. Y shape, P shape. So any appropriate shape can also go in as an answer. The next question is: use evidence from figure 2.1 to describe how the settlement has grown since 1980. So how have this settlement grown? Now, if this is the original village, it has grown outward, but now they want us to describe how. So in this type of question, try to still say what you can see. That's how I call it. But in this type of question, make sure you use your cardinal points very well and try to use what is called relative location. So you use relative location. What that means is, this is not okay. You use relative location. So you locate and describe in relation to other features around the map. So I can describe this in relation to this woodland, in relation to the roads. So if we are using the roads to describe, now we can say it has grown outward because this is areas of built up housing since 1980. So if you look at this is your never ever northeast southwest. So it has grown outward towards the southeast. You have more of it here towards the southeast. You also have it towards the northwestern part along the road, and also the southern part uh, um, around the road or around the village. Then if you around the original settlement, then if you look at this woodland here, so you can see it at the northern or north western part of the woodland. That's all you get the answer. So you see, to the west or south of the main road, so west and south of the main road, to the southeast, you have southeast here, or northwest of the original village. Now to the north or east of the woodland. So from here is north, while from this other woodland here is east. So whichever, it's as simple as that. You've got your full mark. Now they say suggest 2 reasons um, for the expansion of this settlement. So why have this settlement grown this large? Now, remember, it's in the outskirt. So usually it is people moving there that would have made it grown so large. So it's usually the rural urban fringe, like we said. So for rural urban fringe to grow, there must be attractions there. There is more road now, so it is accessible, and the land within those areas are cheap, so you can buy large expanse of land and build your own large houses. So people moving from city to the village, that's urban to rural movement or urban to rural migration. You have things like attraction, because there's more land, increase in car ownership, so it is easy for people to move from the village to the city. um, you have things around the rural urban fringe, which are the countryside, are usually peaceful, less air pollution, noise pollution, and the scenery is usually more beautiful, so people tend to move towards those regions. Now, the next question here is, they said the students use the national census website to find information about the population of the settlement. Now, the results are shown in table 2.1 insert. Now, why is the national census website a secondary data? They've also told us website secondary data. Secondary data is because it is not gotten by the student. It is gotten from other source. That makes it secondary data. Now, the next question here is for us to use the data on table 2.1 to complete this figure 2.2. So this is 2.1, and I told you earlier in the first paper 4 we looked at, I said the one that we always want you to plot will be in bold. So I know I'm looking at 2017 and a population of 9,400 people. So if you look at this, this is 2017. So 9,400. So this is 9,000 and this is 10,000. So the difference there is 1,000. So that means if the difference is 1,000, I have 5 smaller boxes. So the difference is 1,000. 5 smaller boxes. If you divide by 5, this will give you 200. So each small boxes will represent 200. So this will be 9,200, 9,400. So if you trace it down to 2017, you are looking at this value here. Then you join it up. That's all. Now, they said the student decided to test the following hypothesis. There are 2 hypotheses here. Most people have lived in the settlement for less than 20 years. Okay. The second hypothesis is that most people who live in the settlement travel more than 20 kilometers to work. Beautiful. Now, to investigate the hypothesis, the student made a questionnaire, okay, method of data collection. Now, they decided to stand on the main street and ask people who were in the working age group of 18 to 64 to complete the questionnaire. So, suggest a suitable day and time. Usually, the suitable day should be weekends. You should be looking at things like Saturdays and Sundays, and possibly Fridays, but Fridays should be late hours when people are done from work. The time should be not too early, maybe around 9 a.m. to maximum. It shouldn't be 6, should be maximum. So within that range of time, sorry, weekend, which are non-working days, between 9 to 8. Now, give a reason for your answer. I've said it already. You should, because most of them are at work, so people will not be at work during weekends. Now, the teacher suggested some things to do and things not to do while using a questionnaire. Now, we are meant to use the suggestion numbers, which are these numbers, to put the following ideas under the correct headings in table 2.2. Okay, things to do, things not to do. So let's see. Ask the person's name. No, you should never do that. So this should be under this. Be polite. Obviously, you should be polite. It's something you should do. Explain why you are doing the survey before you ask question. That's very important. So it's things you should do. Keep the questionnaire short. Obviously, nobody wants a long questionnaire where you waste their time. So obviously we have only asked people who are sitting down. That is obviously things not to do. Stand in a shop doorway. That's not what you should do. So that's how you should spread it, but not with this line. I'm just describing it. You should write it out, please. Next is the student questionnaire is shown in figure 2.3 insert. Now, this is the questionnaire here. Now, how could the student make sure that they only use their questionnaire with people who live in the town? Ask them, um, where do they live? That's it. So if they give you an answer where they live, that is when you can now administer the questionnaire. So simple. Ask the people if they lived in the town, which area do they live? It's as simple as that. Now, the student asks every 10th person who passed them on the street to complete their questionnaire. Which one of the following? When you ask every nth, once there is any number attached to it, so that is fourth or 10th, you should know that is systematic sampling, help to avoid bias, and it makes the result more reliable. Here we have table 2.3. Which question is here? Okay, good. Now they say the result of question 1 in the questionnaire are shown in table 2.3 insert. Beautiful. Now use the result in table 2.1 to complete the pie graph. So we have figure 2.4 below. So answer to question 1: how long have you lived in the town? Now we have a key here. Now, the first thing you should know is they want us to complete this figure. Now, what we need to complete here are for 30 to 39 and 40. Now, when you are given this type of pie graph, first, it is always make sure you answer the question in a clockwise manner. So you move this way. You should never start this way. So you start from the first one, 0 to 9, you move this way. Now, so the next one we need to plot now is for 30 to 39. So 30 to 39 is x, and we are looking at 19. So obviously this is 6. So I know that my 19, if this is 10, this is another 10, 20, and I have 6, so my 19 will be somewhere here. 19 will be somewhere here. So I know the remaining one will be 6, so I just put my x. So what is left is 40 and over 6, so it's straight line. From this key here, you just bring in your straight line for indication. That's all, 2 marks. Now, what conclusion did the student make to hypothesis 1? Most people lived in the settlement for less than 20 years. Support your answer with evidence from figure 2.4 and table 2.1. So usually figure 2.4 is gotten from table 2.1, 2.3, sorry. So in that case, I don't need to stress myself looking at 2.4, because 2.4 I will now have to extract the data. But like here, the data is given to me, so I can just use the values here to get my answer quickly. Because anytime you're answering a paper 4 question, always use statistics. This is a 3-mark question. Now, a conclusion to your hypothesis is 1 mark. The general description with 1 mark. Then statistics is 1 mark. So now, most people have lived in the settlement for less than 20 years. So this is 20 to 40. So calculate the total here. If it is more than 50, then the hypothesis is false. And obviously, 28 plus 19 plus 6, this should be 17, 23, right? 3, then 1, then 2, that should be 53, thereabout. Yeah, I think so. 53. So if that is 53, it's above. So the hypothesis is false. Why? More people have lived in the city, have lived in the settlement for more than 20 years or more. Yeah, and you give statistics. So 53%, why the other one will obviously be 47. So hypothesis is false. Most people have lived in the settlement for 20 years or more. That's it. 53% have lived there for 20 years or more. Only 47% have lived there less than 20 years. Now, we have another question here that said, the result of question 2 in the questionnaire are shown in table 2.4 insert. Okay, this is 2.4 insert. Now, use the result to complete. Obviously, I know I'll complete this because it's in bold already. So, 21 to 30, 21 to 30 is this one, and it's 27. 25 here, 26, 27 is just this part here. You bring it down, then you pop, 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 pop. That's all. 1 mark. Now, they said, do you think hypothesis 2? Most people who live in the settlement travel more than 20 kilometers to work is correct. Let's say travel more than 20 kilometers to work is correct. 21 down to 50. What's the total now? This is 10, this is 30, this is 57. So the hypothesis is true. That's it. So this is the answer. Hypothesis is true. That will give you 1 mark. That means it's correct. 57% travel more than 20 kilometers. Only 43% travel 20 kilometers or less. Now, they said the student put the answer to question 3 on the questionnaire, obviously. What is your main reason for living in the town? Into 6 boxes. Reason for living in the town into 6 boxes. Now, this group are shown in figure 2.6 below. So this is it. Good access to motorway, nearby countryside for good relaxation, born in the town, low crime rate, convenient public transport route, affordable house price. Now, in which group in figure 2.6 will the following answer to question 3 be included? The town is safe place for my family. The town is a safe place for my family. That we have to do with low crime rate because it has to do with safety. Think there is a quick rail link. That will be convenient public transport. Now, there are plenty of open areas near for walking. That will be, let me see, affordable, no, relaxation, countryside. That's it. 3 marks. Now, this is the last question. No, this is a 30-mark full paper. Question 1. So, suggest how the growth of the settlement has affected local people and the local natural environment. So, we're looking at 2 things here: how it affects people and how it affects the environment. Obviously, growth will lead to destruction of vegetation. Vegetation that are meant for farming are now used for building houses. So that can lead to loss of habitat. It can lead to loss of biodiversity. Some of the animals there we have to migrate. Now, on the local people, they tend to lose their farmland. They end up having they can get jobs within the area, low paid houses. So that's just it. So there'll be more customer for local services, more active local community, rise in house prices. Obviously, there's an impact. There'll be increase in traffic because more people are now living there. Farmers will sell their land, so there'll be loss of farmland, destruction of field, more public transport, more schools, litters around. So all these are majorly how it affect people. I think I didn't include the parts on the natural environment, but I just stated them. So that's it. Have a nice day. See you on day 8.